Alright, so in this next video, we are going to look at how to enforce constraints such as primary key and then foreign key. So let me just name it enforcing constraints. So the first constraint is going to be primary key. Now we know the meaning of primary key. Now the primary key constraint is for preventing duplicates and then allowing unique values. So here I want to enforce a primary key on the EMP table. So to enforce a primary key on the the employees table, we want to look at the attributes that will be able to hold unique values, and then we enforce the primary keys on it. And the attribute that will hold the unique values is going to be the employee ID inside the employees table. So to enforce a primary key on that attribute, I'll just go alter table. We are altering the table because it's already in existence. So alter table employees, then I'll go add constraints. Now a constraint should have a name before the constraint type. So I can just use the table name underscore pk, then I'll type the name or the type of constraint, so primary key, then I'll open parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, this is where you specify the name of the attribute or the column you're going to enforce the primary key on. So like this. Let me move on to the next table. So you go alter table, the table name is DEP, you go add constraints. Sorry, I think the add didn't come. So add constraints. Then this table 2 is called, the table I've renamed it to departments. So I'll go DEP underscore PK, then primary key, I'll open parenthesis, then the name of the table is department underscore ID, like this. Then the last one is going to be alter table. So alter table regions, add constraints. One spell for constraints. So constraints, the name of the constraint is reg underscore pk. Then I go primary key, open parenthesis, then the name of the attributes is going to be region underscore ID, like this. So I will highlight from here to here like this. Then I'll click on execute because I'm enforcing primary keys on all of them. So each attribute in the table I'm enforcing, and then their names are the EMP underscore PK, DEP underscore PK. They should have a name because if you are to drop any constraint, you drop using the names. So we'll be able to enforce them. Now, if I want to check the availability of these constraints, I can equally come to the left side where I have expanded my databases. My database name is me. I'll click on the drop down to expand the me database that I have. When I expand, I have tables in here. I will click to expand my tables. When I expand the tables to this way, I'm going to find the 3 tables that I've created in the user. So the employees, the department, the regions, all these 3 tables will have to display in the user. It's a little kind of slow, so good. So I have them. So let me take the employees, let me click to expand. So I have columns, I have constraints. Let me expand the keys and see something. So I'm expanding the keys that are inside the employees, and then you could see we have EMP underscore PK, like that. So it means that we have successfully enforced the primary key with that name on the employees table. Alright, so if I had checked for all the other tables too, I'll find them. But we are just looking at that of the primary keys. Now the next one is foreign key. the main purpose of a foreign key is to perform relationship, right? To relate two or more tables together. So now I'm going to join or enforce a referential integrity between the employees and departments, and then enforce another one department and then regions. So I'll go by typing alter table. Again, the table is employees. I'll go add constraints. The name of the constraints, I'll just give it emp underscore f key, then foreign key. Now, on which column are you enforcing? I'm enforcing it on a column that I call the department ID, which is inside the employees table, and then it's going to reference another table. So references a table called departments, and I have here department underscore ID like this. So the next command I'm going to enforce on the department table to reference the other table. So departments. So add constraints. Right. Sorry, I think here we need to change. It has to be EMP, not RMP. So here this one will be DEP underscore F key. Then the type of constraint is foreign key, open parenthesis. Then I have here region underscore ID. We have region ID in the departments table, so it's going to reference another table. So references the regions table, which is having region ID in there like this. So we will just highlight the two of them and then we'll click execute. So I think, oh sorry, we made a mistake. Let's execute the second one and see first. Then we'll look at the corrections in there. So this one is done, but I think with this we encountered an error. So let's check. If we don't have a column name like that, it means it's not going to execute. So let's check. We have renamed all the columns in the table successfully. Oh, look at the mistake that we made. It's supposed to be department ID and then we made it department name. So quickly, let's make that correction here. So by typing this exec sp underscore rename, then the table is now called employees, right? And then the column, currently the column is called department underscore name, and we are changing it to department ID, because if the column names are not the same, we will not be able to do it. It means the column name is wrong. So we made a mistake, so we need to make the correction. So let's now execute. And then it will tell us commands completed successfully. Good, so it's done. So once it's done, now we'll be able to execute this command. So it means the column name is right because we didn't provide the correct thing. So you see commands completed successfully. Now, so let's say if we want to be sure about what we've done, now we can equally check what we call the diagram in SQL Server. So on our left side where we have the database, which is me, let's expand me once again. Then when you expand me, you will see database diagrams. Now let's right click on it and then let's click on new database diagram. So once we click, it's now going to open an interface, right? It's going to open an interface where let's click yes. It's going to open an interface where we are going to see how the tables are being related or joined to each other. That is the referential integrity or the foreign keys that we've enforced. So we just want to see the diagram over there. That is the graphical aspect of what we have done with the commands. So here, these are the tables. This is the first one. Let me just click add. Then it will appear at the back of this dialog box that we have. I think the machine is kind of slow because we have a lot of things going on here. Once the table is added, we will have to click on the next one, click on add. Then the last one will also click on add. Then, so you see it's there. The next one will click on add. When it's added, the next one we are going to click on add again, and then we will have all of them displaying at the back there. Come on. So the last one, click add again. So we will have all of them intact. So let me click close. And then now look at them. So you see the employees table, you could see a line drawn here indicating that they are being related. They are related based on department ID and then the department ID here. And then this one too is region ID and then region ID. Because before you can enforce any relationship, there should be common attributes. The common attributes should have the same data type and then the same data size if necessary. Right. So this is how we perform relationship. The next thing is going to be how to insert records. Then we move on to the select statement and the rest of the most important things in SQL Server.